Hi everyone, welcome to this webinar. So today we are going to talk about our masters in hospitality, entrepreneurship and innovation. We have a few guest speakers with us today that are going to introduce themselves. We'll start with Marie-France, who is the program director. We have two students. Later on, you will hear from Mark O'Brien about admission. You are all welcome to ask questions at any time, but we will answer at the end of this webinar. So don't worry if we are not answering straight away, just hit the chat box and we'll get back to it at the end of this webinar. So Marie-France, welcome. I will hand over to you.
Thank you so much, Laurie. So good afternoon, everyone. I'm super happy and super excited to introduce you this master, to let you know more how this master is incredible, unique, fantastic, but I will let you know more, of course. First of all, a huge thank you because you are more than 200 attendees. It's great. It's put a lot of pressure on my children, on my shoulder, but I'm so happy. So during this webinar, we let you know more about the goal, the philosophy, the way of teaching, the DNA and the content, and why this master is more than ever relevant. Everybody is talking about hospitality and innovation due to the crisis and sanitary and new health and safety regulation. We are shifting, we are moving to a contactless and technology environment for hospitality. So it's a big shift, it's a big challenge, it's a new paradigm. As you can imagine, we need hospitality industry, needs new skill sets, needs new resources, new manpower. So you need to be trained to this new business model and new environment in hospitality. So before I start with the content, bear in your mind 3 words about this master, and 3 words were very important to my view, to my point of view. The first word is about excellence. So be ready to do your best if you apply and if you are accepted in this master, as I promise you to do my very best. The second word for this master DNA, it's about challenging. So be ready to be challenged because this master is really challenging. So you need also to bear in your mind that this master could change your mindset, maybe could change your life. And then you need to be inspiring, as this master will be inspiring for you. Be ready as well to enhance the life of people around you and maybe change my life as well. So excellence, challenging, inspiring, this is a global part of the DNA of this master. So let's start, guys. Now, who I am. So my name is Marie-France, I just told you. I have 20 years experience in business school, in higher education. I work mainly for highly recognized business school in France. And thanks to this experience in France, I work as well in Berlin, which is a capital of innovation in Europe. More than 50% of startups in Germany are in Berlin. And I work as well in Marrakesh, in Morocco, for hospitality. As you may know, hospitality and innovation is really important in Marrakesh because it's a very touristic place. So beside, I'm also a consultant. So because it's truly important for me to stay close to the business, to the field, and I love the contact with the company. So beside my education, expertise and job, I'm also a consultant today, and mainly in innovation and business development, entrepreneurship and intrapreneurship. But today I'm not alone. I have 2 fantastic students with me, and they are also class representative of this master, of the February intake of this master. So let me introduce Laura, ladies first. So Laura, if you are with us, could you introduce you briefly?
Yes. Good morning, everybody. My name is Laura. I'm from Italy, and currently I'm here in Italy. My background is in business and management. I graduated last July. After that, I went to London and I spent there a few months to improve my English. And after that, I started to work with my dad. He's an entrepreneur, and his company operates in hospitality and real estate industry. So in that moment, I understood that I needed to improve my skills and knowledges about the hospitality world and to learn something more about the entrepreneur and innovation mindset. So this is the reason why I decided to join Glion in February. And I love this master and I highly recommend it.
Thanks, Laura. Pardon. Merci. Thanks, Laura. Mille grazie.
You're welcome.
Shahab, would you like to say a couple of words about you?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Shahab. My nationality is Iranian. I moved from Iran to United Kingdom in 2017 to study, and I finished my bachelor degrees in business management last summer. And after that, I chose to come to Glion because I really wanted to get a better understanding of the hospitality world. And as I plan to open my business by next year, this master has helped me immensely, and it has been the best choice that I've made in my career as a student.
Thank you, Shahab. Thank you so much. So why a master? So why a master degree is a standard? Yeah, it's truly important. You have to know that the difference between a bachelor and a master. So a bachelor, you are very, very well prepared for operational job. So you need to know, and you need to know how to lead some task and some operation. But a master, you have to be ready. You have to be very well prepared. You have to be very well equipped to take some permanent and management position, which is tremendously different. So then during your master degree, what you have to learn, you have to focus on humanities and soft skills. And what we call soft skills, it's about teamwork, it's about interpersonal communication, and especially in my master, it's about creative thinking and critical thinking. So what you have to know, I would like to point to put the emphasis that in a master degree, in a master program, and especially in my master, to my view, a great course, it's breakdown. It's about 30% theory, concept and methodology. 40% it's about case study, and I will let you know that it's case study coming from the business, from experts who are your teacher and your lecturers, and 40% from class discussions. So guys, if you want to apply for this master, you have to be very active. You need to take this master like a job. You need to give your point of view. You need to challenge positively the teacher. You need to bring another vision of the topic, of the discipline. Definitely, you need to be very proactive. I don't want, I mean, it's not the best way if you are just a consumer of knowledge. It's not the best way to streamline and to get the best of Glion, and typically from this master. So take this master as a job. I don't consider you as a student, and Shahab and Laura can tell you, can confirm. I would prefer to consider you as a stakeholder of this master. We are all in the same boat to make this master to the next level and to make it incredible. So let's move to the program goal. So hospitality, as I told you, is shifting, is moving to a new paradigm. So if you can say restaurant now, they are moving to restaurant, but also to cloud kitchen, to takeaway, to delivery food, to catering for company. As you can imagine, this new offer requires new business model. And then you need also to accompany this new offer with communication, strong communication. You need to reinforce your brand identity. And then in the restaurant, for instance, probably you need to change your labor force. Maybe you need to have less waiter and more community manager and more digital marketer and more innovation manager. I'm starting now to receive some permanent position and some internship with the title Innovation Manager in Hospitality. And it's quite new, I can tell you. So in this master, you have to bring smart technology to hospitality. But it is another point which is very important. You need to reinvent, you need to reimagine what's the place, what's the space of the human touch, of the human being in hospitality, because hospitality by nature, it's social. So if now we need to have QR code instead of menu, if now you need to start the guest experience as of once the reservation has been done, I mean, once the guests arrive in the hotel, at the hotel, or arrive at the restaurant, of the property, of the shop, of the store, of the flagship, of you want, you need to have all information and reservation about your guest. So definitely you need to find a new place for the human touch and human being. So understand technology, as I told you. We will shifting and probably we will have more to see the best practice, let's say for Apple Store. When you are in an Apple Store, you have a very limit contact with people. Everything is virtual checking, but it's another experience. And definitely hospitality should replicate best practice from other industry, and this is what you will learn in this master. So regarding the new perimeter, the new landscape, the new shift of hospitality, definitely innovation, you are here to prepare for hospitality of tomorrow. But hospitality of tomorrow, it's not in 10 years, it's in 1 month when hospitality will reopen and change drastically is operation. So what about the format? The format is very clear. So you can start here, guys, with 4 weeks before the master, what we call a hospitality immersion program. It's practical arts with a gastronomic restaurant. So you will know everything about, and you will work with Moff, meilleur ouvrier de France, our chef. Then we have semester 1. From this year, from October to December, and then we have semester 2 from March to June. During at the end of semester 2, you have an innovation fair. I will let you know more what's innovation fair, and then you have to start internship, or you can join your family business if you have one. Or you can create your company if you want to create your company, or if you want to create your startup. It will be 6 months internship, or at least 6 months fully work experience. And in the same times, in parallel, you have to write a business research project. It's like a master thesis. And finally, maybe you will be graduate. So that's the format. And with this faculty, with touching with this module, you have 2 fantastic field trip. Maybe the destination could change, it's not sure, but so far the Berlin was a destination for semester 1, and Silicon Valley and Napa Valley should have been destination for semester 2, but coronavirus changed the situation. So I would like to let you know briefly more about the program detail. So what you have to bear in your mind is the first semester is dedicated to a hospitality daily operation, which changed drastically. with hospitality disruption, with food and beverage and delivery. So as I told you, restaurants, they have a boundless playground, they have a new perimeter. So it will be how works the new, it will be how works the new hospitality of tomorrow. You need to understand. And then the second part of the first semester will be dedicated from idea to conception of a new business model. So you have to create a new business model. You have to develop your new business model. You have to learn more about creativity and set tool of creativity, and also you need to validate your business model thanks to the business model identification. Then very important part, it's partnership and ecosystem. We are moving now to another paradigm, as I told you. So partnership, if you have to do partnership with some OTA, online travel agency, if you want to have some partnership with different new player, everything is becoming more complex. So you need, for hotel, for instance, you can have now activity about co-working space, you can have activity about service apartment, you can have activity about long stay, and so on and so on. So definitely you need to make some partnership, and you need to know how to deal with the partnership. More and more hotel will become a hub where you can find different communities. It's not only guests, it's not only business traveler, leisure traveler, but it could be local people, it could be worker, it could be a businessman. You can put in place some yoga partnership, for instance. So definitely you have to know better about how to build, how to create an ecosystem for the hotel environment, the new hotel environment. And of course, strategy and governance, it's more and more important, because you need to have a clear vision, you need to have a mission, and you need to know what about the compliance, and especially today with a new regulation, with a new legislation about the health and safety. And what about your governance? If you have a co-founder, how to build a co-founder agreement. And of course, which is extremely important for a company, is to put in place the appropriate, relevant, and innovative strategy. Because a company could be a startup or a new business without any proper strategy, they could go directly to the bankrupt. And a very important point is about protecting your brand identity. As I told you, you will make more and more partnership. So you need to reinforce your brand. If you have more activity in your hotel or in your restaurant, you need definitely to communicate and to put your brand very strong. A stronger brand could bring a better loyalty program and make your customer returning in your property, in your restaurant. So the first semester is dedicated, guys, how you can create value. So it's very important how you can create value, how you can solve a problem met by customer, if you have a customer and if you have a market size. Then the second semester here, it's how to deliver value for your customer and how to capture value for your business to make your business more profitable, scalable, and sustainable. Because if your business are not profitable or sustainable or scalable, there is no business. So the second part will be more dedicated about marketing. What will be the target of your customer? What kind of sales strategy do you want to apply of your new and innovative offer? It will be licensing, it will be franchising, and especially if you have partnership, or maybe if you want to decide to have a joint venture, for instance. Revenue management, which is more than ever very important, and a crucial module, digital technology. How you can put in place smart and meaningful technology in your hotel. As I mentioned, QR code, virtual reality, big data to know you better, your customer, to welcome better your customer, because hospitality should be more connected, should be more personalized, and should be more eco-friendly. So definitely you need to know these tools. Of course, for protecting your brand, for instance, you will know better how to sign a partnership and what will be the law, but you will never become a lawyer. And it will be the same for digital technology. You will never become an engineer, but still you will be able to deal. You will be able to understand tech people. You will be able to understand tech environment, which is crucial today. And digital marketing and growth hacking will be how you can manage your reputation, how you can manage your advertisement on social media, because everybody knows that now, even if you are a star Michelin chef, you must to be on Instagram. Food is topic number 2 on Instagram. So you cannot ignore, you cannot avoid all these new tools, and you need to be present, you need to be visible on these tools. And the last part will be, of course, about the finance. So what will be your financial strategy with a merger, acquisition, family business, and sustainable? So as you can see, it's very dense, it's very concrete, it's very exhaustive, and at the end of the game, at the end of the day, you are extremely well equipped to help the hospitality industry to jump and to shift on this new environment, because you will be this guy or this lady to be able to help this industry. So briefly, the way of teaching, it's absolutely very important. You have to know it's block teaching by expert. So block teaching, that means it's a faculty body, it's mainly external people. And we have some people from our internal faculty, of course, but it's mainly faculty, it's mainly external lecturers. And these people are really expertise. They are entrepreneur, they are innovator, they are consultant, they are founder of Digital Food Lab, for instance. So they can bring you their extensive knowledge and expertise into the classroom. So take the advantage of this kind of people, because you can increase drastically your professional network, which is extremely great. And you will work on case study happens last week, not 2 years ago. And then block teaching, that means you have to learn a module in 1 week. It's mainly 15 hours module. And then you have course during the morning, and afternoon is dedicated to project and teamwork. So then you can absorb, you can digest, and then you can practice. If you remember, I told you a great course, a great master course, it's 30% theory, it's 40% case study and 40% class discussion. So you need practice, especially innovation and entrepreneurship. It's not something you can guess just in drinking a bottle of water. This is something you need to practice. So what I would like to know about the field trip. So the last November, we moved to Berlin, and we have 2 days in Berlin. We visited Delivery Hero, which is a huge company started in 2011, and today 24,000 employees all over the world. Merger acquisition was their most important way of growing. So it's hype growth company. We visited N26, so probably you know the bank online N26, very successful. So 1 million customer in Switzerland and more in France. I think they got 2,100 customer in USA, which is incredible. So we learn with very innovative company. As I told you, Berlin is a place to be for innovation. And then we moved to Paris, and Paris, we have a very extensive hospitality company visit, starting from Akram Benanal, which is a star Michelin chef, with a great fine dining restaurant. We visited Airbnb. We visited Paris Marriott Opera, a company on virtual reality, and we visited as well Station F, which is the biggest incubator all over the world with 1,000 startups in the same place. So as you can see, it's very large, it's very broad, so you can have a 360-degree vision about hospitality, from very innovative startup in hospitality, such as a very well-established chain, such as Marriott and Marriott Opera, for instance. So that's the goal. You are here to learn a lot, to learn by yourself. I can teach you what's a co-working space, but when you are in a co-working space, such as the Place Berlin, for instance, you will see exactly what's a co-working space, how it works, and how things is managed and so on. So definitely field trip is absolutely mandatory to understand what you learn, what's the skill set, what's the tool set you learn during the class, into the classroom. And Innovation Fair. So Innovation Fair, it's a startup classroom project. You have to create an event from A to Z, and the next event will be next week. So I truly recommend you to connect you. It will be very great. It will be Friday, 29th of May at 2 p.m. I will show you the link in 1 second. So you have to do everything. I will give you no budget, no means, support a little bit. So this is your classroom project, and you have to create an event. So with the sanitary crisis, we move from physical event to webinar. This is why it will be a webinar, but at least students put in place marketing material, social media, finding guest speaker, organize panel discussion, finding the material, the goal, and everything. And the field trip, as I told you, to field trip. This is why this master is unique. This master is unique because you have a startup classroom project, because you have 2 incredible field trip, because you have innovative way of teaching, as I told you, with block teaching and 40% class discussion, because you have external and faculty body coming from the innovation market, coming from hospitality market, coming from entrepreneurship, coming from venture capital industry. So then you have a broader vision about what could be this environment. And yes, and as I told you, it's very important to have your profile. So your profile, you have here to be ready and to want to break the code, to be very active. And then you need to be, you can start if you want, but probably Shahab can let you know more about that. You can create your startup during this master. I love 2 quotes. So the first quote say, alone we go faster, for sure, because the decision-making process is very easy and very simple, but together we go farther, for sure, much farther. And the other quote I would like to share with you, it's about Albert Einstein. So Albert Einstein mentioned, I have no special talent, but I'm tremendously curious. So just curiosity, passion, creativity, doing your best, and it will be a lifetime experience. As I told you, this is the Innovation Fair for the last week. Here, guys, you can find the link if you want to register. It's Glion Innovation Webinar .weebly.com. I can send you again one more time if you wish. And I think that's it for me. I think I don't forget to let you know what is very important you need to bear in your mind about this webinar. So Mark, if you want to take over.
Perfect. Yes. Thank you, Marie-France. Hi, everyone. My name is Mark O'Brien. I'm the Director of Postgraduate Recruitment, and I'm going to give you a bit of insight into the application process and requirements to apply for the MSc. So just a bit about myself. I've been working with Glion students for nearly 2 years, and I look after a lot of our students based in the UK and a few different parts of Europe. But of course, all the information I give you today is relevant no matter where in the world you are. I think we have attendees from literally every corner of the world today, so hopefully this information will be helpful. Excellent. So, in terms of my screen is stuck.
So you can't move the slide, Mark. You have to ask Mark.
Perfect. Thank you, Nexa. Thank you very much. Excellent, great. So I think a lot of what I'm going to say is in the next couple of slides is really similar to what Marie-France has already said earlier on in the webinar, in terms of the type of students that we look for. So I think that the key thing to take from this slide is that it is not just about sitting in a classroom, taking notes and doing exams at the end of the semester. It's very much an interactive experience. It's very much a classroom where discussion is very, very important, where bouncing ideas off each other, working on projects, working in teams is hugely important. And that means that you need to have a certain, I guess, ethos going into it. So when we look at students entering into the MSc program, this particular program, we look for students who are passionate about not only the hospitality industry, but also about entrepreneurship and innovation, about their own ideas. So passion and motivation are very, very important. Autonomy, of course, is really important. As Marie-France said earlier, it's not like a bachelor degree. It's very much self-led. Our students come from a huge amount of different backgrounds, and they have many different goals. And therefore, you need to be able to own your own goal and use the skills, the tools, and the network that are provided by the school and the program to make your particular dream come true during the program. Of course, empathy is very, very important. You'll learn a lot from each other as students. You'll learn a lot from the expert guest speakers, the faculty members, and you need to be able to work together in teams and be able to understand and to collaborate with your teammates and be a doer. Certainly, as we said, it's very much an active program. You need to be involved. You need to be actually working to achieve your goals at the end of the year. The 2 semesters on campus goes very, very fast. So you need to be able to get all you can from the program, and that means being active, being enthusiastic. So it's really about thinking about this as a job. It's not a couple of hours a week on campus followed by some reading time or some exams. It's very much considered a full-time job, a 9 to 5, Monday to Friday on campus with some tasks around that and in the evenings and weekends, etc. So it's very much is it a full-time job style experience. It's really a case of breaking the rules and presenting ideas. The nature of this program, I guess, being around innovation and entrepreneurship, it's about bringing new ideas, about changing the status quo and seeing how the ideas that you guys come up with can change the face of the hospitality world. So that means the type of student we attract to this program is someone who's not afraid to break the rules, to have ideas, and to make to make their own pathway. Okay.
Yeah, if I can say something, I mean the permanent position I got just past week. The hotel owner are looking students from this master because they would like to get the creative idea and what kind of impactful solutions they can put in place about profitability, about environment, because sustainability is truly important, about the culture, about the new guest experience. What will be the new guest experience? About employee satisfaction. So it's about globalization, it's about technical change, it's about new competition, because maybe a new Airbnb could arrive. So globally, I would say globally relevant and locally very operational and agile. But for sure, it's not a hotel owner who is 60 or more, they can put in place innovative business model. So it definitely is you guys, is you millennials with a new skill set, with a new tools, with a new methodology.
Excellent. Thank you, Marie-France. Okay, so now we're going to look at how to apply.
Okay.
Excellent, great. So these are the minimum requirements to make an application, which I'll talk through, and then we'll talk a bit further about the process and the more in-depth elements of the application process. So one of the minimum requirements is a minimum age of 21 at the start of the program. That falls naturally with most of our students. A lot of the students who take on this program are recently graduating from their bachelor degree and going straight into their master's program, so they tend to be around 21, 22. And there's also a small number of students who've worked for a number of years who are coming back into education after working in the industry for a number of years. A bachelor degree is required for the program. It can be a bachelor degree in 90 subject areas, but most of the students come with a bachelor degree in something connected to hospitality, tourism, and the industry. And of course, then the English language requirements. So if English language is not your first language, and you've not spent the last 2 years in full-time education where English is the primary level of instruction, you would be required to take one of the English proficiency tests. So the IELTS, TOEFL, Cambridge, Cambridge Advanced, or the first Cambridge exam, and you can see on the screen the different requirements in terms of the grades in those. Of course, they're all listed on the website and in the brochure as well. And if you're unsure whether you qualify for an English language waiver based on your education or based on your nationality, etc., you know, anyone on your educational advisor or anyone at the school will be able to confirm with you during the admissions process whether you are required to take an English test. Okay, just the next slide, please. So looking at the actual process and the timeline, so you can see there's a number of different stages throughout the application process. So for us, a candidate to the program, it's very hard to assess a candidate coming onto a program from just a paper application form. And that's why there's a number of different steps throughout the application process. So the first step in applying for this particular master program is to submit your application form, and that can be done in 2 different ways. Of course, there is the online application portal, and there's also the online application pack, which you can download, complete, and submit to your educational counsellor in your particular region. However, if you're unsure where that is, once you register on the website, we'll connect you up with the relevant person to help you with your application in your region. So the application form and application pack itself consists of an application form, there's a motivation essay, and there are some other documents, your CV, your university transcripts to date, etc. So we'll give you a comprehensive list of what documents are required, and you'd submit all of them to the admissions team along with your application fee. Once we receive your application and all of the relevant documents, you will then have your admissions interview and assessment, which will be organised by your educational advisor. So the interview process is carried out by the program director, so Marie-France usually carries out the interview. And I think for me personally, I think this is the most important part of the application process. But Marie-France, if you want to talk about that.
So yes, the application process interview with me, it's more about to check what about your expectation, because I want to be sure that this master could meet your and exceed your expectation, and just to reinforce what will be the detail of each modules, what you can learn if each modules, and just to be sure what kind of job and what kind of professional project do you have beyond this master. Maybe you have no idea so far. Yes, I would like to highlight something very important. The master is hospitality, innovation, and entrepreneurship. But I can tell you that, let's say 10 or 50% of students decide to create their own business, to create their startup or their traditional business at the end of the master. Most of them, they are doing this master because they have entrepreneurial mindset and they would like to know the entrepreneurial skill and entrepreneurial tool. But probably they would like to create their business or their startup in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Once they get enough professional experience, professional skills, and professional network as well. So don't believe this master it's only for people they would like to create a business or a startup at the end of the master. It's not true. I prefer to be honest with you. So during the interview, we go on all this topic together, And again, we just to be sure there is no miscommunication or misunderstanding, and we are not misaligned. So I'm profoundly and deeply honest with you. I will give you how this master is intensive, what you can expect from this master, and you have to let me know what about your motivation, expectation, and willingness to join this master.
Great. Thank you, Marie-France. And we'll discuss a little bit afterwards exactly what the interview is covering. So just quickly to mention the next steps after the interview process, you would have if you're successful, you would receive your admissions letter, and if to confirm you've been admitted to the program. And then after that, then you would have a period of 15 days to decide whether you want to proceed to the next stage and to confirm your place. And of course, after that, all the support around arrivals, visas, accommodation, etc. Our teams on campus would be able to assist you with all of that, and that's something I know that some of the students on the panel have been through all that process of visas and accommodation, etc. So at the end, I'm sure they can answer any questions about that. Just one last slide for me around the interview selection criteria. Marie-France has already sort of described what the reasoning for the interview is and some of the areas that she's looking for. And the interview covers a broad number of sections. Of course, it looks at your academic background to understand what you've previously studied and what your grades are, etc. So they will look at your previous academics. Teamwork is hugely important. There is a lot of group work on campus, a lot of working with people from different backgrounds and nationalities, etc., and working on group projects. And in some of those, you need to be a team player. In some, you will be a team leader. So we'll want to understand what your background is, your experience is working in teams during your undergraduate or during your professional career. Of course, attitude and behavior. So we're looking to see that motivation, that positivity, that real passion for the industry and for this program. So understanding why this particular program, why Glion, and why you're interested in the hospitality industry is hugely important. Career goals, of course. We want to understand what your goals are, to understand what your short, medium, and long-term goals are. As Marie-France mentioned, there's lots of students come into this with lots of different expectations around what their career goals are, and many students also change their plans throughout the program. So I think it's, that's that, Marie-France.
And yes, what I can add on as well is the fact that if you want to apply for this master, personally, I have no problem with your background. I mean, you can come from hospitality background, but you can come from engineering background or politics background or literature background or biology background. So definitely it's a huge and big asset from this master. You have tremendous different nationalities. So for the September intake, it's 18 different nationalities with probably 15 or 16 different backgrounds. So, but again, innovation is great if you have different position, if you have different standpoint, if you have different angle, if you have different background, if you have a different expectation. When you have a good product in a company, is when you take into consideration the position of the financial guy, marketing guy, supply chain guy, let's say sales guys, and so on and so on. Then you need also to make a mitigation, and then you need definitely to know what will be the most important, if it's sales, if it's a product, if it's engineer. But definitely everybody has to give his point of view to be sure that all the different angle has been seen. So in this master, once more time, you're not obliged to become an entrepreneur at the end of the master, but probably one day in your life you would like to be an entrepreneur, and you have the blood of entrepreneur, or I mean entrepreneur mindset. But again, you don't need to come from hospitality. And one more time, I would like to be very extremely honest with you. It's more about a master in innovation and entrepreneurship with a strong focus on hospitality universe, rather than a master in hospitality with a small specialization in entrepreneurship and innovation. It's truly important to understand that, because I don't want you will be disappointed during the interview. Okay. Again, I'm crystal clear.
Excellent. Thank you, Marie-France.
And welcome.
I mean, as Marie-France has already touched off, I mean, the cultural awareness, obviously, piece is one area that they're looking at during the interview process. And that's, you know, as Marie-France mentioned, there's 18 nationalities in one class of her program alone, but across the Glion campus, there's nearly 100 different nationalities represented. So I think that the ability to work with people from different cultures and nationalities is very important. And we're lucky that the kind of students who are interested in studying at our school or interested in hospitality innovation are naturally quite outgoing and open-minded people as well. So it works out really well for us and the students. So yeah, that's the interview process. And I think, you know, treat the interview as a two-way process. Make sure you come with your questions. I'm sure Marie-France will be happy to answer your questions about the program as well. So it's not a one-way selection process. It is a two-way street. Excellent. Thank you.
And for sure, working with different nationality will be your future, guys. Huh? Don't avoid that. I mean, any question? Please.
Okay, thank you, Marie-France. Mark, I have a few questions here. I will start with the question for Laura and Shahab about the campus life. So please, Laura and Shahab, can you please tell us what is it on campus in Glion?
Very short because it's remote, but
Yes, I'm aware you are home now, but from your experience in the first few months, so if you can talk about the campus, the accommodation, everything you can share with us today.
Laura can start if you want.
Okay. Yes. So basically, the campus, well, there is the main building where there are 2 restaurants which we used to have lunch and dinner, always all together. And after that, there is 2 buildings where is located the accommodation. And in the accommodation, you have the possibility to choose your own room, or you can also have a double room and share the room with other guys. And the campus is located in Glion, that is a mountain up to Montreux, but it's very close. During the weekend, we used to go to Montreux by walk, also by train. And I mean, the campus vibes and the campus spirit is amazing, because we used to spend all the day together with our classmates, but also with other Glion students. I mean, it doesn't matter if you are a master student or a bachelor student, we used to live all together. Shab, if you want to add something else.
Yeah, just one thing that was really surprising when we got to Glion is that when you usually go to other universities, it doesn't make you feel really invited and welcome. But when you walk in Glion, everybody is so interested to making friends. It kind of makes you feel like you're in a family. And when we had to leave the Glion campus, everybody was so sad about the situation with the COVID-19, and the campus is just amazing. The way you feel and the vibes you get every day from both teachers and the Glion students.
Thank you. How crowded are the classrooms, and what is the average age of the students? Oh, sorry, I couldn't hear you.
No, sorry. So yes, I can say that the fact that the campus is not very huge and not very big. So, and previously the campus was a palace, was a hotel, and previously the campus was an hospital. So this is why its property were live, and as hospitality, it's a previous hotel and previous palace. So it's a configuration. It's like a family, and it's not huge. I mean, there are 300 or maybe less, 300 or 400 students on the Glion campus. So yes, for sure, we are like a family. Just, I would like to add, and it's not a huge American university with thousands and thousands students. It's like a family.
So very personalized approach indeed. So you might be able to answer this next question, which is related. So how crowded are the classroom? How many students per classroom do we have usually?
Yeah, so you have 2 intake per year. So the first intake in September, it's pretty much around 30-35 students, maybe 40 maximum. And then the second intake in February is usually smaller, but as I told you, I have a tremendous experience in a business school in France. It was already the same. So February intake is traditionally smaller because the majority of students all over the world are graduate in June. in June or July, or maybe in September with a receipt. But definitely the flow of students is much bigger in September. So it's pretty much around 35 in September, and 15, 20 in maximum in February.
And what's the average age of the students?
I mean, it's I would say 24, 25. So some students have 28, 30, 32, but it's not the majority. So usually they have a bachelor and plus really 1 or 2 pre-work experience.
Thank you. A question for Mark here. Can we apply for a scholarship?
Yeah. So there is a small number of merit-based scholarships, and you can apply for them. And so when you apply for the program, the person at the school, your educational counselor advising you, will advise you on the application process for a scholarship. They are merit-based. There are only a limited number of them. So certainly applying earlier means that, you know, of course, there's more opportunities. So yes, there are a small number of scholarships available, but they are a small number, and apply early in order to have the best chance of being considered.
Thank you, Mark. Just a few questions are coming. If you do have any more questions regarding the program, the student life, or the admission process, just go, there is a question box somewhere on your screen. So we have 10 more minutes now, just fire away. I have some question about the field trip for Laura and Shahab. Can you please talk about the first one, obviously, because the second one did not happen. Can you please talk about your experience during the field trip and what was the best thing you've done?
No, unfortunately they didn't, because they are February intake, and when the field trip arrived, we were in coronavirus situation. So the
okay.
first field trip has been done has been held with the September intake, and it was in November.
Okay, sorry, I think it's been misunderstood by the audience. So here is the answer. They haven't participated to a field trip.
What I can say for the field trip, because it's not kindergarten, it's students are not pupils, so I mean, which is mandatory, it's the company visit, of course. It is a pedagogical part, but during the evening, if they want to enjoy the evening, if you want to have their happy meal, I don't know if they have family or relatives living in Berlin or in Paris, so they can do on their own. But what I can tell you that, as you understand, it's a strong atmosphere in the classroom, and there are a very deep link between the students because of the Glion Confederation campus, and because we are in a class where we are a tough teamwork. So I mean, you have time, you have opportunity to see your classmate outside the classroom, and then with a beer, it's always, glass of champagne, it's always simple to create a warm atmosphere and a very deep link. So I would like to let you know that during the evening, even if it's not mandatory, most of students stay together and enjoy Paris together during the evening of Berlin and stuff like that. And most of times they invite me, and I join, catch up with them. So pedagogical part, company visit mandatory. The rest of the field trip is on your own. And most of time I ask to students to organize a welcome dinner, to organize a farewell cocktail, and to organize alumni events. This is what we had in Paris. We had a fantastic alumni networking event. It was incredible. And they have the opportunity to meet Glion alumni who already create a hotel and restaurant. I guess we were 30 and more. So it was great for them. And welcome dinner was in a beer garden in Berlin. and farewell cocktail. We have been hosted by alumni who have a speakeasy bar in Paris.
Thank you. How long are the field trip usually?
Usually it's more or less 1 week. It's more or less 1 week, depending on the flight fare, flight time, if we have stopover and connecting flight, and so usually it's 1 hour. It's 1 week, flight included.
Okay, thank you. Some more questions for Laura and Shahab. So can you please talk about the timetable? How many hours per week, per day? How is the workload usually?
Oh, okay. So usually we have 4 days from Monday to from morning to afternoon of class during the week, and usually the course is like 1 week or 10. The duration is about 1 week or 10 days. It's depend about the course, and yeah. So usually we have 1 day free during the week. And usually during that day, we used to spend that day to work all together, or maybe sometime Marie-France organize some trip. I mean, like school trip. So yes.
Yeah, we maybe Shahab, you can say something, but I have got in touch with a Swiss businessman. And this Swiss businessman wanted to buy a mansion, kind of small castle property. And he would like to get the point of view and the business case for students, how they can transform the mansion or small castle in a boutique hotel. So I was a minibus driver, and I took my student, a part of my student, with other cars, and we moved to Lac de Neuchâtel, and we visited all this mansion together. And then students worked during 2 works on business model, on design thinking methodology, how we can transform this mansion in boutique hotel, what kind of customer target, what kind of price for the room, if a pool is mandatory or not, if a co-working space is doable or not, compatible or not. So, but maybe I will let the floor to Shahab.
Yeah,
Shahab?
so we usually have our classes are 15 hours, but there are other classes that are 30 hours. And yeah, just the same as Laura said. And the workload is not like you're in a basic university doing assignments based on grades. It's like actually you're working in a company and you're doing work for them. So everything is really professional. All of the assignments that you have.
Yeah, as I told you, I do believe you cannot learn entrepreneurship only with a theoretical, classical way of teaching. For me, it's impossible. You need to learn entrepreneurship. You need to learn some tools, as I told you, business model, creativity, and so on and so on, design thinking, leans, business model canvas. So you need to learn some tools, but to apply those tools, you need to meet entrepreneur, a real entrepreneur with a real problem to solve, with a real business case. So this is the money of the guy, of the entrepreneur. This is not Harvard case studies or publishing high education publishing publisher case study. So you have a real entrepreneur in front of you with a real jury as well. So I think it must be professional. This is my view.
So we have a few more questions here. So what is the main difference between this program and the Master in Hospitality Business?
So Master in Hospitality Business, you're more focused about the operation and revenue management and daily operation. And this master, it's more how to create hospitality of tomorrow, how to turn a hotel into a hub, for instance, with different activities. Let's say you are in a traditional hotel, you have a breakfast room. Your breakfast room is empty from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. and more. So maybe you guys, you have to prepare, you have to work, you have to create other activities, and other activities can provide more revenues, of course. So after the breakfast room, the breakfast room could be transformed in co-working space, for instance, for from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. and then it could be a yoga room, or it could be a wine tasting room, or it could be macaron or chocolate on stuff like, or mixology, for instance. So in hospitality, you are more focused on daily operation and what are the job, how to operate an hotel or a restaurant, included marketing and sales and revenue management. And in this master, you are more focused how to integrate and to implement smart and meaningful technology. What could be the cutting edge about the different tools for the digital online. As I told you at the beginning of this webinar, definitely the landscape of hospitality will change drastically, and everything will be an app, on QR code, on technology. So definitely you need to know more information once your guests arrive in your hotel, rather than to head directly to the reception desk. He has already the virtual checking already done through application or through different digital model or website, or I don't know. And you need definitely to put hospitality in a new perimeter, in a new landscape. This is what we call hospitality extended, because hotel or restaurant, we have different activities now. As I told you, it could be serviced apartment, it could be hosting business traveler, it could be hosting leisure traveler, tourists in Paris, for instance, but it could be also for co-working space or different activities. So definitely you need to help this hotel management to move forward to new tools and to new organization. As I told you, what will be the space, what will be the place of the human being is this new organization, because for sure, 100% sure, hospitality needs human touch. It's social by nature. So it's not, let's say, like moving from a traditional banking to online banking. You need to be more agile, and it's more comfortable to have everything on your mobile phone, everything about your bank account. So hospitality is different, and hospitality needs to have a social interaction with human being. So what will be the place of the human being, human touch, is this new environment. I don't know if I am clear, but definitely the boundaries of food and beverage, of hospitality in a whole, will be extended, will be changed drastically.
Okay, last question, and then we close this webinar. So apart from launching your own business, what are the other career opportunities after this master?
As I mentioned, you can work with the marketing and sales department. You can work with a strategy and owner most of the time. You can work as entrepreneur. You can work with startup in hospitality. You can find, as I told you, everything will become more complex. And hotel and restaurant, they will have more partner. So definitely you could be in charge of this different partnership. You can define the limits and the perimeter of different partnership. So everything will become more complex, and you have no more job description. You have more new task and new permanent position. As I told you at the beginning, I'm starting to receive innovation manager in a hotel in order to put in place an impactful solution for water management, for water scarcity, for environment, for profitability. So yeah, it's with revenue management, with marketing and sales, with strategy. Definitely you can put in place this new business model and new offer. It's not because hospitality they would like to become innovative. It's because now it's a new health and safety regulation. So a lot of things a lot of procedure, a lot of process has been to change, and to change very quickly.
Thank you very much. So this is the end. If you have any more questions, if you'd like to know more about the program, I'm sending you all in your chat box the link to our website, www.glion.edu. You can download the brochure, or you can reach out to Mark or one of his colleagues via Contact Us. Thank you very much, Marie-France, Laura, Mark, and Shahab for your time today. And bye for now.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
See you. Bye.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Laura and Shahab. See you soon.
Bye.